And there we go. Welcome, everybody. Oh, there's the camera. I'm looking at myself in the monitor. Such a professional. Welcome to the stream of myself on my channel, Dave Darko, and Mr. Aaron over here. We're taking a look today at, whoa, it's so bright, a wonderful price tag, and maybe some others controlled over an ESP32 connected to a module that's a CC1101 RF module. Yeah, and maybe, Aaron, you can tell a bit more about all the shebangs that we're about to do while I maybe install the ESP32 stuff into Arduino, because I don't think I have done that on this computer.
If you got Visual Studio Code running, you can also use that one instead. So yeah, I try to show something as well as we try to do. We have some of these CC1101 RF modules, as Dave said, and we use the 868 megahertz version of it. It's connected to the ESP32 in this case, and is running in custom software, of course, which will emulate the stock access point of the system from the price tags, like such one. And it's used to activate these displays. These displays are they will get an ID on activation, and this is random or can be selected on activation, and it will it is needed to activate them on their special channel and so on. And we can see how it goes. The whole project is still very much beta. There are some hiccups, especially on the small ones, because they use a newer activation method. The older ones are quite simple, as the used protocol is already about 10 years old and was quite simple back then already. No encryption, nothing.
So when you started the project, did you find out how to just send stuff there, or were you just Googling how to do it, or were you in that mode where you just sat there for 3 or 5 weeks on the weekends and then hacked along to get it working? What was your process here?
Yeah, a mix of everything, I would say. It's mostly I got one of these displays from some store. So I tried to sniff the data it is transmitting, and I never got anything out of them. So I got hooked to see how they work. I Googled a lot and found one paper where they explained a bit how the project process is going. And there it was told that not the display is talking, but the access point itself. So it's the display is silent, and only after fully activation and full transmit of real data, I would call it, the display is ever answering at no other time. So it was not really possible to get any infos, only with the price tags. So I did go into a store nearby with an SDR and sniffed a bit, and I saw some data, but was really not, it wasn't making any sense of it.
Right. So it could be anything. It could be the temperature of the fridge, just saying what temperature it is right now. Okay.
Correct. So it was still not nothing to rely on.
Yeah, but I mean, the idea sounds nice that you walk into a store and have your SDR thing in your backpack. How did that actually look like? Were you running it on a notebook, or did you have a Raspberry Pi that was battery powered?
It was first, first one. I used a notebook with the cheap SDR module,
Okay.
the RTL something, and I really stand there in the store with my laptop out.
Okay.
First, I tried to team view into the laptop, but the problem was, and the moment you close the laptop, it's just it's not in standby mode, but the screen is not updating anymore.
Oh, which makes kind of sense, but okay.
Yeah, it's such an annoying feature.
Nice.
So I was there in the store with the notebook. I had my work clothes on, so it wasn't really
Okay, so you looked like someone who was checking stuff there and were totally. So I guess it wasn't that small of a store. It was a bigger thing where you don't see that many people, or
it was a normal store. I don't know. Maybe I was just. I don't know.
Okay. I mean,
some person.
After
I was there, some person wrote me I know, and he said, "Yeah, I saw you there, but you were working, so I didn't want to interrupt you." So it looked good.
Convenient. Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, in Berlin, when you do something like that, I don't think anyone would care. So even if it's a crowded and small place, people wouldn't. They would probably think that you're working on a web page that needs updating right now because your company demands 24/7 support. But that's
so that was, but it didn't work out. I then later tried it with some Android app, which does also work with the SDR, but it didn't help. So I was able to buy one of the access points, and I also made a stream with it. I can just grab it.
So
it's this one, and it was with a complete set of 500 of these small displays, the LCD type.
So these, I guess.
Yeah, the
69. Nice.
Yeah, right. And so that's where I got a lot of them from. And with it, I was already getting quite far to sniff the data that is for once going over the air, and also from the microcontroller inside the access points to the CC1101. So
someone has a question.
These are really 500 pieces.
That's basically why we are doing the stream, because I got 5 and Aaron was the other day asking if anyone wants to buy some, and I was willing to buy some because I like to buy things, which is a problem. But you showed 3 kinds of displays that you were selling.
Right. So the 2.9-inch versions with the newer activation mode, the 7.5-inch version.
That's pretty nice. That was the one that I was most interested in.
Most people are. And then also the small ones, the a lot.
Nice. So Niels Fast is asking where he can buy them. How? Where did the ask come from? But are you still selling them, or
I do still sell them? Yeah.
Okay, so there should be a link to his Twitter account, and you should just click on it and scroll, and then find out how to message him.
Write a message to me directly, and then it shouldn't be a sell show here.
But I thought I'd mention it. At least if anyone, you don't have to sell them, but maybe people are interested in buying them. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. Anyways, we're not talking about selling anything here anymore. So the 3 kinds of displays. Today I received the big one and the smaller ones with the red and black, I think, and this was yellow and black.
Yeah, right.
Particles. I have a question about all the displays. Basically, does the barcode mean anything on here?
Yeah, it's
Like,
a unique serial number, and it does also encode the method of activation. It's quite simple. So the last character is either B or C. And if it's B, it's the old activation method. And if it's C, it's a new activation method. I added it in the firmware, so it's not really noticeable how it is activated, as it's getting activated the same way for the user. It's just, yeah, to know this as background, it's not bad. And yeah, the serial number is used to wake the displays up to say, okay, I want to activate you. I want to start using you. And in this activation process is each display in a custom ID assigned, a 16-bit number. So this serial number is 6 bytes long. So it would be quite much data to transmit on each RF transmission. So I guess they used the 2-byte version to make it smaller. And that way, up to 65,000 displays can be talked to with one system or one ESP as well. So, yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got to 512, but that's just 2 times 256. So that was, stupid. You have 2 bytes, so you have 255 times 255, and that's how many addresses you can have in your area. I guess you can have 2 of the same ID, and they would act the same way.
They would collide on answering, so it's not good to do it. Always remember what ID you already gave some.
Okay.
So yeah, it would. Yeah, the system then doesn't work anymore.
Oh, okay.
You can break it, kind of.
No dual displays then. Okay.
There is a method of sending a broadcast message. So that is possible to send to all of them as well.
Okay.
If needed.
So do you have all of them working right now, or in the beta, or were there one? I think you said the 7.5 is ready to go. Is there anything not so ready to go?
Only the 2.9-inch version is really the one giving me headaches on the activation. And maybe I should tell a bit about the system itself, how it works. So if it's in normal mode, there are slots on which on which the displays do wake up, and each display gets one of these slots. But there can also be multiple displays on slots. So, for example, the system in the store always uses 16 slots, and each slot is 1.1 seconds apart from each other. And after the 16 slots are over, it starts at 0 again. So every display will wake up at the exact time of slot to see if there is any data for its purpose for him. And the slots are signaled, whatever, by the access point. After each 1.1 second, a sync message is sent. So it sent out a few bytes of which slot it is. And it as well sends a few more messages a few milliseconds before and a few milliseconds after that slot to get if a display is if one clock of the display is going too fast or too slow, as these are not perfect oscillators. It knows, okay, I am a bit too fast. I need to wake up the next time a little bit later to be in the perfect slot position. Nice. And this is how the main system for once gets 65,000 displays without having them all need to talk, as only the access points need to talk to sync everyone. And if then, one display is wanted to talk to, in the sync message is also the ID transmitted from that exact display. So if, let's say, there are 10 displays in that slot and the ID of one of them is in there, it wakes up again after the sync message and then receives the real transmission data, the command. So, and if in that sync message is the broadcast ID used, it will wake all the displays up, but only in that slot. So you could even say, I only want to broadcast to these displays. But the slot is based on the ID you set the displays. So the last bits of the display. Yeah, right.
Or like this. So I got a fun question here in the comments.
Yes, it's possible.
Okay. But so that's totally untested and not legal. No. I should I mean, is it?
Maybe a video is in the making.
Oh, nice.
So to get this working in a store, to hijack the displays in the store, you need to get the access point, the real access point, to stop transmitting the sync messages. Because otherwise it would, just send the sync message and the displays will react to it that they are not meant to wake up the next time. But if you even, let's say, 100 milliseconds before the next slot is starting, just send out any garbage, the access point is listening for a few milliseconds to see if there are other transmissions. This is a regulation by the EU to prevent that multiple RF systems are disturbing each other. So it's a listen before talk mode. And so then the access point will stop to transmit, and you can, in exact that moment, send your own sync message and also some data, maybe.
So because it's listening to its surrounding field, it doesn't send something because it knows someone else is sending something, so it has to shut up, and you can then just continue. Okay, very nice. Yeah, makes sense.
I only do it on my own system, right?
Of course, yes. And that's the rule of nature, I guess. The one that speaks the loudest is the one you can hear and listen to, and everyone shuts up. No. Yeah. But okay, that's pretty interesting. Someone else asked if you can do this with the Hack RF1, and I probably think that you can do that with that, but
it should be possible. It needs to. I haven't looked into that. The CC1101 uses a quite proprietary protocol as the first element, and the other protocol is built up on that, but you can emulate it, I guess. It's just
so it's not simple on-off keying. Is it ACK on-off keying? Okay.
I guess it is.
There are some. Okay.
It includes the CRC calculations in the CC1101. So it's hard to just use another module, for example, to implement it.
Okay.
Yeah. just so, but possible it will be. It's
Okay, cool. They just have to program it themselves.
right. Emulate it from zero.
Yeah. Or send an hack RF1 maybe to Aaron, and then you can take a look. Free stuff. Yeah.
I guess you could just repeat some older, some recorded sendings.
Okay. Right. I think we talked for a while about the things now, but
yeah. So there is no real frequency hopping used.
Okay. Yeah, that's basically what you said, I guess.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So no frequency hopping. That kind of makes sense because, well, it should be possible with the module as well, right?
Yeah, it is possible. So that's another thing of the system. It's made to work in the EU and also in the US. So in the US, only 915 megahertz is allowed, and in the EU is 868 megahertz for this system. So they have 2 channels, or even more, but we don't need to talk about them. It's for China, it's even another, and for Russian, I think it's another one. They have some channels just for the activation and the wake up, and then they will define another channel, and this channel is just the base frequency of the used configuration. So for example, for the EU, the activation frequency is 4. It's just they have an array of frequencies, and it's number 4 is the wake up channel.
Okay.
And the displays will listen to that every 16 seconds if no sync message is available. So you got the displays in front of you, and they are not hearing any sync messages for a while now. So they are just listening on this wake up channel, it's called.
Okay.
And
so the channel would be something that's basically kind of the 868 megahertz, but slightly off or a bit shifted. Or are we talking about 915? Probably not. No.
It's they have about 73 channels, and channel 1 to 10 is at the 868 megahertz region. So half a megahertz each channel apart, about. And in the US, it's the same, but all at round about 915 megahertz. So and the wake up channel is kind of in the middle of them always, or kind of. So it will listen to both the 868 megahertz wake up channel and also the 915 megahertz wake up channel. All the time it is not synced. This is so it's possible to use them in the US without problems, or the EU. It's quite a nice system overall. So it's well designed. It's not very user friendly from the hacker perspective, as you always need to have the access point running. You cannot just turn on the access point and send an image in a few seconds. You have to have it always running with the sync messages appearing. And then.
Okay, so but the displays that I have here now, they aren't synced anymore, or basically they got the message they haven't gotten the message for a long time, so they are now free to use with the base station we are kind of building today. Yeah,
correct. So even if I have them laying here around, and the sync messages only will be sent out on the configured channel. And if they are configured for channel 1, and I sending out the sync messages at channel 6, for example, then they will still go to sleep mode as they don't hear it anymore and can be reactivated.
Makes sense.
So yeah, that way you can just reactivate them for your own ID and own frequency, and then they will work. And that's also the biggest problem, I would say. You don't know in which mode they are and on which frequency they are configured. So you try to activate them, but maybe they are already listening for sync messages. So yeah, you cannot get them activated. Yeah.
Okay. So do you get a feedback from the modules when you activate them, like an ACK for activation and then for whatever you send? Okay.
Yeah, correct.
So when they're activated and you just would switch through all channels and all frequencies, you wouldn't catch them when they are already activated, right? So like just sending out everything and then waiting for it to respond, or
no, because the activation is happening on the wake up channel,
right?
And they don't listening on the wake up channel if they are synced.
Of course.
And you cannot just guess the ID of the display as it's one of the 65,000.
Okay.
So there, I have a fix for that in mind. And it's just to send out a broadcast message on every channel to delete the RF configuration, so they are just blank. I guess that would be the best way to recover them. Right. Then all displays will be blank and
they all get the same idea, or
no, if they are blanked or erased from the system, they will only listen for the serial number on activation. So yeah.
Okay. So you have the serial number on the modules. That's for when you activate them for the first time, and otherwise they're just listening to the ID that you gave them. So no one else can just read the serial from the module and pings it with random data.
Yeah. So even let's say you are in the store and try to hijack the displays, you don't know to which to talk to. You cannot.
Okay.
You can only guess the IDs.
So you would have to guess the IDs, the channels, and the frequencies to finally get a result there. And you would probably sit there for a while because you have to go through everything.
Yeah, there is another part. It's the net ID. It's one ID that can be from 1 to 255, so an 8-bit ID. It's a system ID. So multiple systems could be existing at one frequency as well. That's just another thing.
Okay, but you could kind of listen to all the frequencies and wait for the base station to send something out. So you would probably be able to guess that.
Correct.
So the IDs. Okay.
For the EU, it would be the 10 channels to listen to. And every 1,100 milliseconds, the sync messages is appearing. So you can listen for that.
Yeah.
In the sync message is the net ID. And also you can see how many slots are there, because you will see the slot number and when it's rolling over to 0 again. So it's possible to guess the system itself, just not the IDs from the displays. But they start always at 0, so yeah.
Okay.
You know where to start.
Yeah. It was, very inside our brains. I hope people were able to follow a bit.
It's in the end, it's not so complicated, the system, but it's just to understand what is happening if something doesn't work.
Right.
And you only see it working if everything is right. So that's.
You're just screaming into the darkness and hope that someone responds.
Correct.
Very nice.
So,
All right.
yeah.
I found out that I have the ESP32 libraries for a Arduino installed already, but I probably have to download your samples or your code.
Yeah, you can download the GitHub repository.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we could link it.
Yeah, that's also in the description. At least your GitHub account. And then it is repositories. Is it e-paper price tags? That's the most recent.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
So
Very
I'll
nice.
just, yeah, put it in the comments.
Downloading the zip file. Okay. There was a question if the channels are documented somewhere, or did you just scan for them and see if you can find the frequency?
I did reverse the access point a lot, and also the firmware of the price tags itself wasn't read out locked. So yeah, it's reversed.
Okay, so you get the firmware of the whole thing, of the box,
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be easy to understand what is happening, really.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's easier then, but it probably helps when you have the firmware. You probably had to deassemble it as well, right? And make sense of it.
Right. But that's the fun part.
Nice. I've never done that, but yeah, I can imagine that people have a knack for that and kind of like to solve puzzles like that. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of. I don't see me using these displays a lot. It's just getting there. So it's it's like it is.
It's a good benefit for us, and you at least get to the point where you can hand them out, and people might be able to make them work themselves. So that's pretty nice too. All right, so I downloaded a zip file, and is that a library that I have to include, or is it a sketch?
Sketch, but I also did send 2 links for some libraries in the comments, which will be useful.
I don't see the.
I did post them on YouTube. I don't know how good that works.
It should pop up here, but the last thing that I see is the Roter Fruchtwerk comment. So maybe it's not refreshing anymore, or it takes a minute.
Okay, I will also send it in the StreamYard chat. Maybe that's working better.
Oh yeah, okay. So that's the async TCP.
These 2 libraries are used for the web server running on the ESP.
Okay, so is that for people who just find your project? Do you have that in the README as well?
No, there is no README till now.
There's a README in e-paper price tags. You're talking about the versions of the.
Yeah, it's for many different price tags. It's yeah.
Okay.
Also for different companies who make them. So, for example, the Solemn displays. But that's another topic as well.
So this is a library. Okay, just download zip and download zip. But since we need this for your sketch, you should probably add that as a comment. Okay, there we go. Comments. Test. It does refresh. It does refresh.
You don't see. Maybe mine are blocked because I sent an URL.
Oh, you're not a.
That will. I need to be a moderator, I guess.
I can probably fix that. So nobody in the chat saw the comments, right? Okay. This is muted. Yeah. So now I need to find the stream. Actually, doesn't show on my.
I cannot share a link.
Okay, I found it on Twitter, of course. And I muted the computer before. Now I'm in the chat. Fear me. So. Add as a moderator. Okay. I don't see any other moderator. Oh, Alex might be here. You should be a moderator now and be able to post links.
Yeah, I will try to resend them. Does look better. They are also marked as a link now.
Well, they say nope, no link in the chat. Or oh no, that's old. Jeez Louise.
Let's see.
Doesn't show up here. There's one. That's so weird. So there's one link now. It's async TCP.
That was the last one I sent. Strange.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it didn't know that you're a mod. So when you posted a link, it then checked that you're a mod, and now you're able to. I have no idea. But yeah, there's one link, and I cannot copy over the other. So if you just post the Esper sync. I mean, if the live stream, the chat is recorded, then people can click it as well. Might be helpful.
Okay. Yeah, are there now 3 links in it? Oh no, okay, only one. That's strange.
Are you pushing enter?
I have 3 comments here.
That's so weird.
So I now did send again the e-paper repo.
And there it is.
Okay. Maybe I hit enter too fast. So now
then enter.
Now the ESP async web server library. Oh, and also hi to everyone.
Okay. Include library. Home desktop. Downloads. Async master. Okay. So I'm fighting with the browser window right now.
Too much tabs.
I kind of want to screen share, but then I also share the link. So I got to be quick about it, or maybe add something on top of it. But then when I click share.
That link. I get it.
So if anyone wants to be,
if anyone wants to join,
you will just be in the void thingy. Okay, let me.
In the gulag.
Okay, but first I'm going to open should be in the downloads. I didn't download your file. Did I? Paper price tags. There you go. Okay, so this is not what I wanted. Share screen. Entire screen. We don't care. Okay, so I can maybe move the link here and it's shared like this.
Yeah,
so you can
I
see
will
yourself
make
there.
it full screen as well. Maybe, yeah, put the comments on the other tab.
Oh,
Yeah.
am I sharing your stream now? No. Clicky, clicky. Yeah, sorry for the setup, for the lack of setup. Okay, there's no module connected right now. I can see myself there. So, yes, the breadboard. Okay. Well, it should be that one. Is it doing something? Yes, it's crashing. Okay, my tiny Pico is crashing. And it's speaking German to me. I have no idea why.
Whoa, that's strange.
Oh, I think I gave it to someone, so maybe we can just put the blink sketch on it. Examples, basic, blink. I have no idea what pin, if there's even an LED on the
Isn't there
tiny.
an RGB LED on it?
Oh, right.
But maybe it's in VS or a WS28 something.
Oops. F11. I'm getting hacking tips from Tishibu. F11 for what? Okay, LED built-in.
Maybe for the screen, full screen, to not share the link. There is some LED, but it's not in the pin out.
Okay, this is a bit ridiculous. I can add this to the stream. Maybe you can see a bit of it. It's blinking here. Oh,
Very
yes.
fast, yeah. Now you doxed your link.
I did. Oh yeah, it's still there. So hi,
Everyone
kids.
come join.
The problem is when people join now over the link, they should be seen here so people can see themselves. So edgy badge. Okay. This is a bad start, but there's something blinking. So it's the RxTX LED.
Ah, yeah, the Einschlafen.
I'm just gonna say one could be a bad pin. I have no idea. Okay, this is
So it's definitely an RGB LED.
okay. So is it a smart LED or is it one where it can just say red, green, blue?
It's everything behind a library.
Pico.
The tiny Pico library.
Oh, look, so many boards that aren't tiny Pico. It's the worst. Worst. Smallest, fully featured.
I think it's called the dot star, and it has some defines for data and clock. So it's most likely a digital LED.
Well, the shipper says it's a dump LED, but maybe he just finds that smart LEDs aren't something you're allowed to call smart. Yeah, it also says APA 102 here, so it's probably that. Okay, but it says it's done uploading, and I hope it's not crashing, because otherwise we just shift to the ESP room. I don't think it's crashing anymore, which is nice. It's still blinking.
It goes into sleep mode. In the lock in the terminal, you saw it something like power down mode. Maybe that's why it's crashing.
No, I think the person that I gave it to was playing with that. But yeah, I think we should be fine here now.
Yeah, it's definitely a digital LED.
Okay. So let's take a look. So what should we were talking about getting the big one to go, right? Can everyone see it? That's the one we're trying to focus on, or are we trying to focus on these? Do I have to take these apart then?
The big one.
The big one, okay. Well, before we do that, I should probably connect the tiny Pico to the module. Yeah.
You can also just upload the code and
yeah, let's see if it crashes.
Yeah.
Or not.
Before you connect everything.
Right. So it's probably in here somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's not that one. Sorry.
No worries.
The custom price tag access point is the correct folder, and then the async platform EO.
Did a bell just ring at your place, or was it here?
I guess it was at your place.
That's weird. I'm not here. Okay.
So yeah, then this folder is normally for platform EO, and I made this project compatible to both Arduino and platform EO, as I like both. So you can just click on the RF version 3 folder and open the RF version 3.ino in Arduino.
Why isn't that the standard thing to open it with? View all applications. It's not in here because I didn't install it over the... okay. So open. Downloads. Paper price tag. Custom. And here we go.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I hope everyone can see that. I can make it a bit bigger. Yes. I lost complete. I have no idea what everyone else is saying. But yeah. Just say something. Let me see someone say something.
They all ask if this stream is 7020p at max.
This could be, yes. So people want it bigger,
I guess.
Is that okay? Is it too big?
Strangely, I have in StreamYard a very good image. It looks like more.
Okay.
Yeah, but checking the YouTube stream, it's readable for me.
Okay. Cool. So we are just compiling it first and then see if we can slip it on. Do I have? Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
So in the RF version 3 folder, there is a file named WLAN something. And yeah, it's just a replacement for the real, for my own Wi-Fi credentials, as it would otherwise upload them to GitHub as well. So you need to rename this file to wlan.h. And yeah, then maybe in your own not screen shared screen, enter your credentials.
I really should have thought about this before doing this on a one monitor stream. Let me quickly find my Raspberry Pi 7-inch monitor for a second.
You can just unshare your screen for a moment.
Right, that's also true. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Open with text editor. Ah! SSID XXX. It's already correct. How did you know that?
You can just change your Wi-Fi credentials to that one.
I think it needs to be a bit longer for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The password, minimum the password. Yeah, what can I do to distract from the disturbance?
I think I already have set it up correctly, hopefully.
Okay, I don't know if Arduino needs to be reopened then to, yeah, detect the new file.
I don't think so.
Good.
I've done that a lot to libraries, just changing something in the background with another editor. That should work. It doesn't. Okay, this one is closed, so share. So smooth. All right, so it says done compiling. So we can end the stream now.
Everything is working. You could also look at your, how do you say it? Your flash formatation. So how much is going to the SPIF memory and how much is going to the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's editable, but it doesn't look like.
So that's the upload speed. The flash frequency is not important. This should work. I hope that's all correct because I chose the Tiny Pico.
Yeah. Maybe it's fixed for the Tiny Pico.
Yeah, it seems to be fixed. I don't see.
It should work anyway, so it would be strange if not.
Okay. Brief overview is demanded by Joe Anon.
Yeah.
What are we working on? We are working on, well, Aaron, you can maybe just.
Yeah, you try to upload in that. So yeah, we try to get a new user into
That's me.
into getting the e-paper price tags with a fully stock firmware on them to get them be usable via an ESP32 and the reversed protocol they use to just have some simple and easy to use IoT displays or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the brief overview.
So we're trying to connect the RF module that's running at 868 megahertz. Well, the frequency of it in which it's transmitting is that. Connected to a tiny Pico that's a ESP32 module. Michael, no, you're correct. I am the noob. I mean, sure, I've made some ESP32 programs work in Arduino, but just everything about it is I'm a noob. So that's fine. Yeah.
Only the display part.
Right. The whole what's the word for it? The work that you did.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, my neck hurts right now, so I'm really not thinking straight right now. It's not backtracing, reverse engineering. That was the word I was looking for. You were the one reverse engineering everything, and that's something that I'm not able to do right now. So I would be a noob in that. And yeah, even setting up something can sometimes be a hurdle just to get it run.
Yeah, especially if you don't know how it works. But yeah.
Oh, that seems to be a bigger program. Or the uploading speed, isn't it?
It's done.
Oh, it says done uploading. I was just focusing on the points and was waiting for another point to show up.
Okay.
It doesn't say done uploading here. Yeah.
It does. The line above it.
Yeah, here, right. But all the big orange on black is like
that's
we're waiting
true.
for it. Okay, but also when you read it, it says hard resetting via RTS pin, which technically means that it's resetting it to run. But yeah.
You could try to look into the serial monitor to see that it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
You need to set.
Nice.
It's 500,000 kilobytes or baud.
Oh, really? Just that number?
Yeah, right.
Why isn't there any 512 something radio not working? No way! How could that be? Well, I haven't connected the radio yet, so we have to do that. And I hope all the pins that are on the Tiny Pico are also used in your library. Otherwise, we could run into a problem.
We can also just reassign them.
That's nice. Yeah. So, what do we do?
You could open up the RF version 3.h, the second file in the Arduino. So it's in the Arduino IDE directly. You can click on it.
Yes. Okay.
And there, scroll a bit down.
Okay, so do I have an 18? I think I do. Well, maybe not. Yeah, it's my favorite cutting mat as well. The other side is pink, so I started with purple, by the way. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look here. Is this really an 18? Yes, it is. That should be the 18. I hope. Oh no.
That's good question. So
are these the chip pins or are these the Arduino pins?
Okay, the darker blue ones are the I/O pins that are also in the that are also defined. So the 18 that also fits with the clock signal, the pink named one in the Tiny Pico.
Very good. So yeah, I'm just unplugging this for a second. So we definitely have the 18, and I probably need to find out the pinout of those modules.
Yeah.
That's the CC1101 Module pinout. That is this one.
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay, so we were saying the clock. That's pin number 4. And it's been a while, but I made these 2 millimeter to 2.54 millimeter adapter boards. Oh wait, I have so many colors. Should I use? I normally use yellow for clock. So let's stick to some color coding.
That's a good way.
18, right. So, I mean, I don't always have to shift this around. Okay, but we need MOSI 23. That's master out, slave in, or so. Yeah, I should just use blue or green for this. So 23. MOSI. Then so it's right between them and pin number 5 of the module. We of course need ground, which is over here. And that's pin number 2. VCC. That is on this side here somewhere, and it's probably 3 volts, right?
Yes, correct. This, yeah.
And then we only need the chip select pin, I guess.
Yes, and the GD02 or 02.
Okay. So
This is the interrupt, or used as an interrupt pin to notify about new stuff. So if new radio data is coming in or the transmission is done.
All right. So CSN is probably the last one then, right?
Yes.
8 pins, 6, 7, 8. And 1 for pin 4 is on this side, next to the 3 volts.
Yeah, that's correct. That should fit.
And this pin. Okay, so all but 1 are connected. Nice.
Yeah, 7 cables should be on your breadboard now.
Very cool. Oh, I didn't see it. Okay, so
It's blinking.
I mean, it was always blinking, but
Nice.
so okay, I see some. What do we see here? Maybe you can tell us.
Yeah,
what I'm looking at.
See is for once just for debug informations in which mode it is and what it's doing. And you can see that the sync messages, that's the one with the sync at the first word, is being sent out. And you can also see, if you look closely, that they are the 1.1 seconds apart. The first numbers are the milliseconds runtime. And you can see also that in the sync message itself, you have first the one for the net ID. That's just the default one it will boot at. Then you have the FE, which is the exact time in a slot, where the 0 would be the perfect time slot, or the perfect moment in the sync slot. And it will in integer. Now it's an unsigned integer. In integer, you would have a -2. It is sending out 5 of these messages. So -2, -1, 0, then +1 and +2. We are just not seeing them here as it's too polluting for the debug output. The next number or byte is the slot number it's in. And in the marked one, it's, for example, the 8. And I set it by default right now to 16 as in the store. It will be tweaked, so that's nothing for forever. And then you have 4 bytes where the first 2 bytes are for display. So you can send out there 2 bytes.
That's still these ones, right? Or is it something we don't see anymore?
No, it's that one, right? So now it's 0, as you don't want to talk to a display in that slot. And the protocol allows to talk to 2 displays in one slot, but also to one after each other. So not talking to them at one moment. The first 2 bytes are one display, and the second 2 bytes are the second display. But the second bytes are not used right now. So only the implementation is only for one display. And if you would send something to a display, the first 2 bytes would be the ID of the display. And also the slot would be the highest bit. So in the 8, it would be an 88, because the highest bit would be set to notify that there is coming a transmission. Just to, if that bit is set, the display knows, okay, next time I need to wake up if this is my ID.
Yeah.
And you see it doing this all the time. And if you now scroll far up, so
up, okay.
I guess fully up, I guess.
Yeah, it should be still there.
To get your IP address of the ESP. And you can enter this in your browser.
Was it so? No. Was there one?
It's correct. It's correct.
Okay.
I guess so. Yeah, it's not timing out. It's just not. It's just a 404, and this is because the file, or the, how would I call it? The interface is not loaded onto the ESP right now. So you need to go to the IP address /edit. And there you can enter admin.
Oh, do you know my password?
This, this is not from me. This is the async web server library for the ESP32. It's such a nice library. I can just only say that. And now you can choose a file.
Okay. So this is basically from one of the libraries that we installed.
Correct, right.
Okay.
And it has a built-in editor and also a file browser for the web server running on the ESP. And it's
Okay.
You can choose a file. And then go into the folder before the RF version 3.
Where did I put it?
It was a download before.
That's so weird. There. Okay. So custom price tag again, and then one of these, I guess.
Also in the platform EO folder.
Mm-hmm.
And there the index.htm.
Oh, okay. So we're uploading this to a file server running on the ESP, or
Correct. In the SPIF memory, so the flash memory itself. And you can now also click on that file. It's the web server is really great, and can directly edit it on the fly as you want. And if you now go back to the IP address alone, or make a new tab.
All right. Yeah.
As we will need the upload feature again.
Ooh.
And yeah, there we have the basic overview of the running system. You may want to make the text a little bit bigger for everyone else.
I hope that's okay.
Maybe just a little bit more. Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
And what we are seeing now here is, just a very 90s interface to control the system. I will just tell a bit from top to bottom. So first we have the feature to activate a new display, where we get obviously entering the serial number and the ID we want to set it to.
Okay.
And then if we click on activate new display, it will try to do it. And we can now see that I will now go to the bottom. We have the mode wake up activation. And it's
that's still down here, right?
Yeah, right, correct. The mode, it's it's not easy to read. It's better now to also open up the terminal to see a bit more infos. to see what is happening as well there.
Right. And we want to auto scroll. So this looks a bit like what you have here, I guess.
Correct. And as the activation was failing, it's now going just back to the idle mode, so the sync mode. And to activate a new display, the access point will send out an activation wake up message for about 16 seconds. As in the sleep mode, the displays do wake up every 16 seconds to listen for new activation data or requests.
So should we just try to activate the one that you've hacked for me?
Yeah.
Should let's do that. Okay, so this number is almost the same. It's only 566. So I guess this is just coming from you being lazy on the keyboard. But we can keep it like that. So if I would have two displays, can I give them the same ID, or is this important to be not the same in that case?
It's important to only have one with that ID.
Okay.
So that's the most important part, as this will not break the system, but it makes hard to recover them, to talk to one of them.
Unless I pull the power.
Yeah, and leave it off for a few minutes until the sleep mode. But then you will power it on again, and it will send out the sync messages again. So maybe we should not activate it for now. I will just go a bit to the set frequency and ID portion of the index file.
Okay.
So we can change the frequency and the net ID on the fly. And as mentioned, the frequency from 0 to 9 is for EU, and from 10 to 73 is for the US. It defaults now to channel 0. But it's also a bit hard to explain. In one case in the firmware, it's 1 based, and in the other part of the firmware, it's 0 based. So it's always so in the HTML file, it's 0 based. But that could be a hiccup as well. It's maybe
Okay,
that's
so
too much info.
So you basically mean that channel 0 would be the first channel, and some people just call it channel 1 then?
Correct, right. Yeah.
Okay.
And it would be the same. It's just, it's like it is. There you could, for example, now it's at frequency 0 or channel 0, and you could set it to channel 1 and click on set IDs. It's a bit misleading, but it's exactly that.
So this is safe to save.
It's no problem to do it.
Okay.
And now it changed the sync frequency. And as you don't have any displays activated, it's also no problem. But if you would have 3 displays activated, you change the frequency to another one, they don't work anymore, of course.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
So they need to be reactivated to the new frequency, or you just go back to the other frequency. And then we have also the section set number of slots at the last editable part. And it's set to 16, and you could set this to 2 just to make things faster. It will drain the battery more, but also with only 2 slots, the displays can be talked every 2 seconds and not only every 16 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. And
so
I changed. You can just click it. And we will then also see on the serial monitor that only the 0 and the 1 is in the sync message changing.
The 0 and the 1. Okay.
So now it's only transmitting 2 sync slots as intended. And now we can activate the display. This is only just to make it faster to see what is happening or not. So you can click on activate new display if you want.
Okay.
We then see the interrupt counts in the terminal monitor, and these are just for checking that the interrupts are working. And now we saw it dropping. That's not good, and it will try to fix it. So it will restart the activation.
So normally we should see it every 2 seconds, and then because it's now time out retry.
Okay.
And we are idle.
So it didn't work, and we also see in the status area that the activation timed out, and you can now just try to reactivate it. So just to click again on activate new display.
Okay.
And see if it's working or not. It could be, for example, that the display was activated on channel 0, and you already did transmit on that channel from boot up. So it is maybe already in sync. Because we now see it was successful. If you scroll up a bit on the serial monitor.
Oh, then it went a bit past. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we have an RSSI. That's interesting.
So the how to say it the best? It will sent about 18 messages to the display with different settings. For example, the wanted channel, the wanted no, that's the same. The ID it wants to be set to, and this is what is happening there.
Okay.
Just as an explanation. And
so these are different commands, or I see it counting upwards.
Yeah, if you go into Arduino in the IDE, in the file mode underscore activation, I guess, you can scroll down there a bit, and there's also an explanation of what yeah, there it is. So it is named.
Oh, okay. I don't think I know what I'm looking at.
It's no problem. It's just as an information. It's not so important if it works. Yeah. If it's not working, then yeah. Okay, but
okay,
we now.
Yeah. Well, so if someone starts with this and it doesn't work the first time, try again.
Yeah, try a lot if it's not working.
Okay.
It's just with these displays, we don't have any information of what they are doing right now. The only real way of telling is by monitoring their current consumption to see if they are woken or not, but nothing more. Yeah. So
at least we now know we can talk to it, and it also has batteries in there because I didn't check that.
Correct. They
That's
are
nice
all
too.
with batteries. Only the LCD variants are with dead batteries enclosed.
Okay, but yeah, Roter Fruchtzwerg in the comments, he was tweeting at us before and was showing how to open them. So you have to open them and swap the batteries for these. But we're still looking at the big display and trying to make it work with an ESP32 module. That's the tiny Pico by Unexpected Maker. Talking to the CC1101 module that you can get for some cents. And yeah, we were able to talk to this one. And now we're going to talk to it a bit more, I guess.
Yes.
What's next?
So
pictures, I hope.
Yeah, in the terminal, I will just try to explain a bit more. You see that there is, again, this count message popping up a lot. Or it was. And now it is in a so-called full sync mode or in a wake-up mode. Yeah. If you have, for example, displays that are laying around with the access points turned off, they will go into the sleep mode, but they are activated already for your system. So if you want to use them again or want to sync them again or wake up again, you will send up the wake up messages for just saying, okay, I'm online again. Please start receiving the sync messages again. And this is what has to be done also more or less a lot to get them back in sync. If you, for example, reflash another, you change the firmware in Arduino, you upload it again, you need to send the resync message to get them back in sync and not with music. Yeah.
Bye. So, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So when you
so
right. So do I have to do any of the syncing stuff when I just unplug the USB module and put it back in again, or?
It will resync after 500 slots. So if you want to get it resynced quickly, you can either change it in the firmware to do it on boot, but it will take half a minute or something about that.
Okay.
And you can also click on do sync in the buttons in the browser.
Okay.
if you click that, it will just make the resync procedure to get all displays back into sync.
But without any activation processes, it's just trying to sync again.
Correct.
Like
it
finding the.
It will be done on the wake up channel that is also be used for activation, but with another command simply.
Okay.
And now to the fun part, we can see the send a command to display, the middle section.
This one?
Yeah, but not click it for now.
Okay. No.
And just to explain it, so we have the ID at first. That needs to be the ID we talk to, of course. Then we have the command we want to send to the display. And in that case, it is the command number 5. I will just explain it. It's not so important, but just to tell what is happening there. The first byte is the command. So it's the command number 5. And so these are hex values, just to also make that clear. So every two numbers is 1 byte.
That's right. Okay. Yeah.
And we have the 85 there. And this is because the first bit is set, which will notify that we want to send data as well in this command. So we have command number 5, and we want to send more bytes. And the second byte, so the 05, is then telling that we want to send 5 bytes. And then you can see, 5 bytes after it. So the 01, 06, 00, 01, 01. And that is then the data we want to send.
Right.
And the command number 5 is please display something. Please change something on the display. And the 01 of the actual data is make the screen black.
Okay.
And it's just a test sending.
All right. Yeah. And the rest of it is.
It's kind of important, but not for us. It can be the same. It's, for example, for the e-paper displays, if they should initialize the display first or not, make it longer or not. And you can maybe get the terminal back in. Right.
Just moving it a bit. Okay.
Maybe with scrolling enabled.
Only for you. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you now click on send command, it will try to talk to the display in the next slot. And I can already tell it works.
I'm so sorry. I was very unprofessional. Oh, Alexa, stop. It's reminding me of something. I hope it wasn't that embarrassing. Yay, black display. Oh, it's flashing.
Yeah, it's like an e-paper. It's doing its lookup table ionization, I guess it was. And you can now scroll up a bit in the log of the terminal. We saw it working. That's good for the start, of course.
So, I mean, it's blank now, and you said it would turn black. What happened then?
I guess 1 is for white and not for black. If we send a 0 instead of the 1, it will get black.
Okay, I'm too tempted to try this now.
You have to take care to not send too fast new commands. While it should work now, but while it is updating, it will not receive any data, just as information.
Okay.
And after that, it also needs to redone a few things. So it's not possible to just, is it spawn? To spam it with a lot of messages.
Right. I mean, I was so confused with the personal assistant that reacted to me.
Yeah. Better not.
It was reacting. Yeah, I think it was reminding me of something. But Okay, so it turned black now. The whole refreshing sequence, is that, I know that some are just doing that once, but this looked like it was doing it like 10 times. Do you know how to just tell it to do it one time, the refresh thing, or is that
This
something
is
that's
fixed.
not possible?
Yeah, it's fixed to the monitor.
Mhm.
And it will also change the flashing times for different temperatures. So it's compensating that the particles move slower or faster. And
Yeah.
also it is flashing so often because it's a black and yellow display. So it needs to take care of both colors. And at this point, I can do a shout out to Dimitri. He did manage to make a full custom firmware for these displays. It's
Yeah.
also, they allow then to have grayscale and also partial update. So it's very impressive. On the stock
But
firmware,
yeah.
on the stock firmware, there are only full color black, white, or yellow. And with this firmware, it's very impressive and works
So
really well.
that would be an actual firmware for the thing that we have here, or is it something
Correct.
like here? Okay. So he's not connecting it to another controller, the display, but he's running
just
custom firmware. Oh, that's neat.
It's still hardware-wise untouched then. It's just, reflashed.
Okay.
And it's not tested for now, but with the emulation of the stock access point, it can also be updated over the air to the new firmware to have it working with it. But that firmware is not released for now.
Yeah.
It will be.
It sounds definitely cool. So
I was able to try it already, and it looks very good. And it's far simpler, I have to tell.
well, if you don't have to do all the, I'm not sure if you're doing this, but if you can think of a simpler protocol for exchanging stuff, then yeah.
Correct.
Very nice.
Okay, maybe we want to look at the messages in the terminal, if you can scroll back there.
So just one question. Is it that simple that when I turn this instead of a 1 and a 0 to a 2, will it turn yellow then?
It will not, as it's just not implemented. I don't know why. On the older, on the smaller LCD variants, they also made some chess patterns as test images, but not on the e-paper ones for whatever reason.
Okay.
So it's just like it is.
Yeah. So, but you support yellow and black with
Correct.
Okay, good. Well then, off to the next one. No, you were trying to show me something over here, right? You wanted to look at the output.
If it's still visible, not. Maybe resend something to the display just to get it.
Should. Just for the effects.
Yeah, it will also refresh. Now we can see a timeout there.
Okay.
So it
Is
will
it trying to?
It will try to send it 100 times, and if that is over, it will stop trying it. You can now do a sync, so the do sync button, and wait till that is done.
Okay, so did we lose the sync, or?
We did lose the sync, yeah, but for whatever reason is unknown. That's
Okay.
We didn't made anything. That it's also my theory is the shorter or the less slots we have, the more likely it is to lose the sync, as it wakes up so often. It's just not sure.
So while we were waiting, Adam Bryant just said that he only sees the LCD ones on eBay, not the e-paper ones. Do you have any tips for people who want to have one and like what to look for, or do you not share your trade secrets your eBay trade secrets?
They pop up very rarely, and
Mhm.
it's not like you can just simply enter, I want e-paper price tags.
Mhm.
Some keywords are good, like ESL for electronic shelf labels,
Mhm.
and also maybe the company's name. Just I try to avoid the name of the company. It's not, but it's, for example, for the Solum displays, just enter Solum and look for it.
Mhm.
And what I can also give as a tip is that eBay is trying to hide items from other countries. So you can enter or you can access these items, but just not find them via the search of eBay Direct. So if you Google them via eBay and then the terms, you can find some of these items. That's my biggest tip, I would guess. So yeah,
Nice. Cool.
try to Google eBay articles to find other country items.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That says HT150. Is it directed at us? Probably.
This
not.
is this one, but it's from a different company called Pricer,
Ah.
and it's also using infrared instead of an RF method to get displays to the display.
Okay.
And
So
yeah,
yeah, that was the one you were talking about earlier, right? That's
correct. And
in the
it's
beginning. You're still working on it.
it's I guess it's already hacked by Furry Tech.
Ah,
Shout out to
Furtech.
him. Yeah, he
Yeah.
made he worked on that,
I'm.
I guess, a few years ago, and it's still
Yeah.
supported. Kind of, I would. Yeah.
Yeah. I was looking at Furtech projects like 7 years ago for the first time because of the Game Boy printer work they did. He did. They did. I
Oh,
mean,
I haven't seen that one.
technically, yeah. I'm not sure if it's he or they. Because it's a furry. He's a furry.
Ah, right. Yeah.
But yeah.
It's I'm very confused by the Twitter terms for the she and he and
Well,
that
people also have that in real life. I think you see that more often on Twitter, but yeah,
it's
I ran
confusing.
into mislabeling someone, and I was very sorry about that. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
the price tag.
Very
And
nice.
also,
So, can you see that we are good again, or do I just hit the do
you can
sync
just
again?
try it again because we don't know if it's in sync. That's only
Okay,
because
so
yeah, only when we try to talk to it.
okay.
That's still a timeout.
Okay, so maybe it just ran out again because we were talking too much.
Yeah, you can
So-
try a resync.
Let's just resync and watch.
I also have the thesis that it could be related to a flat battery. It's not empty, but as we used it now sometime, it may, gave up on us.
Okay. Well, it says full sync done.
Yeah, it will do 16, or it will 3 times do a full sync over this slot. Yeah, that looks good again.
Okay, and there's some flashing going on. Very nice.
Yeah. And yeah, you can now maybe disable the scroll to get back to the message.
Oh. Okay. So still to send 7.
Yeah,
No.
you are up too.
Too far.
That looks good. Too far up.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe you make it a bit bigger to show what is happening.
Yeah. Just because we're talking about batteries and Micro is asking about the batteries, there should be 6 coin cells in there, right?
Correct.
And the
And
big one.
these are CR2450 batteries.
Oh, okay.
These are, I can show a coin cell. It's not so interesting, but
Yeah,
these are a bit bigger than the one we
the
know.
ones. Yeah, the one that you can buy at IKEA in a 10-pack, I guess.
Correct, for their mini candles or something.
Okay.
I think they have double the capacity at about 200 or 280 milliampere hours at 3 volt. Yeah, these are the batteries, but they are accessible. You can find them in the internet. It's not that they are nowhere available. Okay, so we can now see first the last sync we see where your mouse is.
So
about.
this is the last sync.
Correct,
Right?
and we see that the 1 for the net ID, the FE for the sync slot, and the 81 for there is data coming in at this time, and the 1 for the slot this display is from. And then we see the 07B, which is for the 1, 2, 3 in decimal. Yeah. So it's just in hex there. So you know you are sending to that display. And then it will start to send the actual data we want to send. This is the data to send section, where the first long one, the first long line
so
starts.
Is first something like here takes data main transmission.
Correct. So, and there we have the data to send that is the package itself it will send to the display, which is the first byte, also the 2 lines above it.
Oh, here. Oh, yes. Yeah, I wasn't seeing that. Okay, so this is data to send. Okay.
Yeah, and we have 5 bytes as a header for what this RF data is.
So that's probably our ID again.
Correct. And the first byte is for the net ID. It's just again. And then we have a 10 for this is all data I want to send. If we, for example, send it.
So this was the net ID, just the one, and then this is our ID, and this is something else. But we're now here with a 10. Okay.
Correct. Yeah, and the first 0, it's just the 16 bits of the display ID. That's but we don't use it there.
Okay.
The 10 is just to this bit that is set in the message is just to notify we are over sending. After this message is received, we are over sending our data. If we would send a big file or an image, this would be different. It's also just as information. The next one is also just for the header to say how much parts are be sent. And then we have the 0 in front of it, but that's not so important. We there can see the 85, the 5, the 1, the 6, and the actual command.
Right.
We did send.
That was the one where I was hacking 1 and 0s in.
Correct.
Just a quick. There's a question, Adam, about all the security and stopping people from hacking them. We had a section about that earlier, so maybe try to rewatch that then if this is all over. But yeah, we got into that.
And to that topic, we can see it's not encrypted or anything. It's just sending out this message. So that as a hint to if it's hackable or not. So and the next 2 lines are the receiving data. It for one says the RSSI and the link quality indicator.
Nice.
So it knows how good the reception was. and we then have the received data from the display just printed out there.
This here. So this is the response, or?
Correct, yeah.
Nice, okay.
And then they will talk a bit with each other. You can see they are sending a bit more of data. It's just that the display wants to send data to us. We said we are done with sending, but the display said, I want to send you more. And you can now see at the nearly at the bottom, the received data packet, the full line. And this is just an overview of the answer of the display. So we can see there at the last section some hex data again, and it is answering with an 85, again with 5 for the command it was receiving as an acknowledgement, and the 8 that it also wants to send data as well. And the next byte is again the 5 for I want to send 5 bytes after this. And in this answer, we do have the 7A0C, and this is in hexadecimal the battery voltage. So if we use the calculator and enter C7A, you cannot see it, but I will just do it. It will tell that the battery is at 3.194 volts right now. This is something I did not pass until now, so that's still in the making.
Okay.
And the next two, yeah.
I think we should be good with battery voltage for a bit now.
Yeah, that was not the reason for the unsync. The next 2 bytes are for the temperature, which is F1 in this type. And this is 24.11 degrees Celsius. Yeah. In decimal values with a punctuation. Yeah, and the last one is, I don't know. But sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 0. It's not reversed until now.
Yeah.
Some status. Yeah, nice. And you can also view that answer in the browser. If you go back there and click on Get Command Status, it will then, just display the last message. There's some,
looks a bit weird there, but
yeah.
Or is it just a big number?
No, it's some wrong string handling in Arduino. It was better before, but it will get better again.
Okay.
That's the bug.
Yeah.
You could also go to the ESP editor, so the /edit tab, so the other tab in the browser.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And refresh the list. And the left top, and you should also now have the answer.txt file. And it's just an overview of all the messages.
That's cool.
That were there.
So I think some people are getting a bit nervous about missing unexpected makers chat, but I think so we have about 9 minutes. I think we are able to send an image in that time, right? Or do you have anything where you say this is important, people have to know this as well? Or
the image right now needs to be the exact dimensions. That's important. And the color is separated. So one image for one color and one image for the other color.
I see. So that's basically...
The LCD variants, of course, only have one color, so they only need one file. And I did put some test files in the repo. We can use them just to speed it up a bit. If you go to the ESP editor again in the tab.
This one?
And Correct, yeah. And choose a file.
Oh, okay. So I upload it to the spiff, and then I can select it or can just tell the file name, I guess.
Correct. And there are
Okay,
the
cool.
75 test and the 75 test C2. It's a real simple image, and yeah, you can edit it if you want.
Well, we're just doing it the fast way, but yeah.
Yeah. Now
I
you
hope
can
it's something
also,
different from the blank display. Upload second color.
oh, that was not so good.
Oh, I
You
uploaded
need to select it first.
Right.
This will break a lot of stuff. No, you need to choose the file.
Wait. Choose file. That was, yeah, I was, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Upload. Nothing broke. I mean, they seem to have managed.
Yeah, later that day I did broke something while doing it,
Okay.
but not so important. Okay, we now have these two files we can use.
Right. We have a compressed. Oops. Right.
And we can, yeah, enter these file names there. It's very inconvenient for now.
Okay. I mean, that's manageable. So 75 test.bpm. Maybe I can. I don't know. We're skipping the. Let's do just one and then do both, and then
Yeah.
That's C2 and BMP,
Yeah.
right?
But you have 1.7.
Yeah. Okay, so 75 test C2. Do I need the slash, or is this okay like this?
It will implement it itself. And
Okay,
if you leave the first one blank, the color 2 blank, it will only do one color. Yeah. So.
Okay, but if I just leave this out and oh, you mean it would update only the yellow color if I only sent the yellow color, or
No, the other way around. So if you only supply the black color, it will only update that.
Okay.
And yeah, if you supply both, it will update both.
Okay, but not color 2 only. Correct. That wouldn't work if I just work with the yellow.
Yeah, you can just simply send a blank image if you only want yellow.
Okay, so let's hit send.
Yeah.
Right. It's probably out of sync.
We will see. We can now see it took a bit longer to update the index.html, so the status. This is because it is compressing the image on sending or while sending or before sending. And it's a compression they invented. It's some very... Yeah, it was very hard to crack this compression, but you can see it works. And it was also quite fast to transmit.
It's a very black circle. It turns yellow.
It will turn yellow, yeah.
Nice. So it probably pushes back the black and then...
it will use the black pixels or the black pigments to push up the yellow ones. The yellow ones are just floating around and will get pushed around with a specific waveform.
Very nice.
Yeah, looks good.
So yay. The noob got it to work. Woohoo! Very nice.
Yeah, if you want to display something else, you can edit these test files to whatever you want.
Right.
But yeah, no.
I think at this point we believe that it works. Everyone has seen it.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. Cool. So let me just quickly end the stream share and also remove this. Bloop, bloop. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Does anyone have quick questions about the session or the modules or anything? I mean, we talked about all the things, I guess. But
Maiko asked if this display also has red pigments, but it does not.
Okay.
There are
But yeah.
specific, or there are different versions of that display with red or yellow. There are only a few multicolor e-paper displays out right now. Yeah, that as info to that. Or
right, but we have the smaller ones with the red, and they might work at one point as well. So that's pretty cool. But I saw someone post a Hackaday logo and everything. I think a screenshot of the page in one of your reference links. That was pretty nice. So yeah, if you don't have red, you can work with yellow. I think it's nice as well.
yeah,
So
you can do cool stuff with it. This is
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, and with grayscale, it's even better.
So Adam wants me to say thank you to you, and I mean it, and he probably means it from himself as well. If that makes sense. But yeah, I think everyone is happy to just see someone else do the work and it works, and maybe they're now inspired to also do this and test this. It was pretty nice. It was fun. So yeah, thank you very much for that.
Yes, thank you as well to try it out.
Well, I bought it, so I don't feel as bad anymore that I don't. Well, I would have put them in the drawer otherwise. So when you just asked if we want to make a stream, it was
right. It was some pressure.
Where's Angus Darko? He is currently not here because I'm here for some reason that has a meaning to some people.
That's too Brian stuff to understand.
Henrik says, nice to see it working, definitely. Michael says he has seen them in black and red, so I don't know what this means for us, but ours are just black and yellow.
There are black and red available, of course, yeah.
So
but not
Larry
black,
is
yellow.
Larry is late.
Larry. Yeah.
Hey guys. All right, cool. Then let's end this. Sion is probably already online. Thanks everyone for watching. Thank you again, Aaron, for doing this with me, and I hope everyone can come back here and get a refresher on this, how it worked.
Yeah, some in-depth. Okay, yeah.
Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna hit the end stream button now.
Yeah, nice evening all, or morning. Bye.
Bye.